Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabans. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So this is kind of like a continuation of a game that took place yesterday between the Clippers and the Lakers. So it was a very close game going into the fourth quarter, right? And the Clippers had an opportunity to win that game in the last final few minutes. Then out of nowhere, I think Kawhi Leonard hits a three, and then out of nowhere, you see him on the, I think they call a timeout, and he's on the bench talking to Ty Lue, and then the next thing you know, he checks himself out of the game. He says he can't play anymore for soreness or something. How do you develop soreness that fast? How do you develop soreness that fast? The only way I can understand developing soreness that quick is if you injure yourself, then soreness occurs. But from what I saw, Kawhi didn't get injured. So where did the soreness come from? This guy checks himself out of the game. Then the Clippers go on to lose the game by 3 points. And I said to myself, it's reasons like this why I can never like a player like Kawhi the way I liked Kobe Bryant. And exposes players like Kawhi when you compare them to real hardcore competitors like Kobe. Kobe was a different animal than Kawhi and most of these guys. Yesterday I was at the gym. You guys know I'm here based in Nigeria, and the guy walks in, really fit guy. He walks in and he has on a black Kobe Bryant jersey. Middle of Nigeria. I walk up to him, I give him dap like, yo, feeling that jersey. Kobe Bryant, my favorite player. You know the first word that comes out of his mouth? He goes, Mamba mentality forever. Something we can never say about the majority of these players today. Kobe was inspiring. Kobe, if I'm being serious, if you're somebody that struggles with discipline or mental toughness, you need to go watch Kobe Bryant. Or listen to his talks and listen to some motivational sound. Listen to Kobe in my mid-20s saved me from a lot of stuff, man. You know, I developed a lot of mental toughness just by listening to Kobe Bryant. And he helped me deal with real life adversity. And I'm not talking about like no damn basketball. We're talking about real life things here. It helped me overcome it. You know, and I grew accustomed to learning not to panic under tough situations. I don't panic. The only time I've panicked is when I found that I can panic is when I became a father, and then my daughter that's when that panicking thing came back. Otherwise, I don't panic. She's the only one that brought that kind of fear, like when something is about other than that, I don't have it. And I've gone through some tough circumstances where where if you didn't have your brain on your head and your shoulder, and like your head wasn't on your shoulders, most people would have lost it. They would have lost it. And seeing what Kawhi did really amplified the toughness of Kobe Bryant. It really, really did. Kobe Bryant was a different person, animal, however you want to describe it. He's different. He was different. And it's something I don't see in players today at all. If you think about the thing that he was facing in Colorado, the guy was looking at jail time. His personal life is falling apart. According to stories, his wife is throwing him out of his house. It's a mess. He's going to court. Then the guy is still finding a way to show up and do his job at a high level. If that's not mental toughness, I don't know what to tell you. Some people can get into an argument with their wives, and that's the end of their day. Some guys will get into an argument with their girlfriends, and that's the end of their day. Some people, they'll take their cookies and say, I'm leaving your team. Kobe was a different thing, man. And witnessing what Kawhi did in that moment as he quit on his team in that moment, it just made me appreciate Kobe Bryant even more. That's what it did. And it just further explains what sets him apart from so many players that played the sport. from a mental aspect. There's nothing inspiring about these guys. There's nothing, really. There's beyond, okay, you can play and score and do all of what's inspiring. How are you inspiring me? You know, how are you inspiring me? You listen to these guys talk. They have nothing to offer, nothing to say, nothing to impart with to the fans for them to be like, wow, man, that was nothing. They're just there, you know. And I don't see it in these guys that played it. I just don't see it. Who do you see it in? You know, even some players that I thought had it turned out to be total goofballs. Like in terms of the things that they do, just goofballs. You know, and I think that that's missed in the NBA. You know, this just commitment. I could never imagine Kobe Bryant leaving a Lakers game with 3 minutes to go to solve an issue that may get exacerbated in the future when you can win now. I could never see that. I could never see Kobe foregoing winning. He's too much of a competitor. And that's why they asked Ty Lue, who reminds you of Kobe Bryant? He said, no one. No one. They were about to be quiet. No one. No. You know, no one. And that's what separates this guy from, to me, almost everybody in the NBA. That competitive fire, the commitment, and more importantly, the mental toughness. Most people are gonna quit on you, man. Most people will quit on you when things get, they'll quit on you. They will quit on you. They'll quit. They'll quit on themselves. They'll quit right there. Boom. They quit. You know, but Kobe, man, it's, you know, just comparing him to Kawhi Leonard, these players are like night and day. You can't compare Kawhi Leonard to Kobe Bryant. You cannot. Forget about Kawhi's 2 championships. Forget about, oh, he can score efficiently. Forget about all. You can't compare them as players. You can't. Kobe is in a totally different realm of a competitor. As competitors, that's maybe the word. As competitors, when you want to win so bad, man, you sacrifice things. And last night just showed me why. Not just Kawhi, there are a lot of guys that I wouldn't invest in emotionally. A lot of them in the NBA, man. But you know, it just makes me appreciate Kobe Bryant more. You know, it makes me appreciate this guy more. Because Kobe stood for things, man. He stood for things. He had that grit in him that you yourself would try to emulate. Who in the NBA are you trying to emulate today? Who? What players are you trying to emulate? Who are they? Who? And if you're trying to emulate these players, what about them are you trying to emulate? What? Think of the older guys and the younger guys. Who are you trying to like, man, I need more Kobe like. Who? You gonna be like Kevin Durant? Who seems to be a total dirtbag. Who? Steph? Well, you don't know much about Steph, although Steph seems like a cool dude. Who? LeBron? Who? What about the younger cats? You gonna try to emulate Ant-Man? Who? Zion? Who? Giannis? No. Who? The only guy that I'm looking at now that's really coming up in the ranks that got me thinking, okay, I'm paying is Wemby. But it's still early because you never know, man. Goofball tendencies can pop up later on. You never know. But I just wanted to talk about that. There was no real story on it. It was just something that was on my mind. You guys let me know what you think about it in the comments. Catch you on the next show. I'm out. Peace.